Coercive control is a course of conduct, a sustained course of conduct, whereby one person in the relationship seeks to dominate and control all aspects of the partner's life. The perpetrator is seeking compliance in their partner.
So what we know is that LGBT people experience coercive control in ways very similar to heterosexual women. We know that LGBT people actually experience domestic abuse at the same rate as heterosexual women, which is estimated to be 1 in 4. There are, however, additional experiences for LGBT people that are rooted in homophobia, biphobia, and transphobia.
The range of tactics that are used by a perpetrator of coercive control include isolation, so not allowing a partner to see family and friends or to go out and socialise, not having access to telephones or other forms of technology. The partner will also threaten the victim if they don't comply with the rules that are being put in place.
Outing can be particularly damaging for LGBT people if they're not out to friends, networks, employers, and that can be a very powerful way to control an individual.
I think it's useful to think about coercive control as a form of entrapment. The victim becomes trapped in the relationship, and that's precisely what the perpetrator is trying to do.
We know from research that LGBT people are not always aware of what constitutes a crime and what they are able to report. We also know that there can be low confidence in the reporting process, and a particular barrier is around reporting domestic abuse to the police, simply for the fact that if a domestic abuse case is prosecuted, it will be in an open court, and the person runs the risk of being outed in that process.
In cases of coercive control, separation doesn't always equal safety. Indeed, we know that separating from an abusive partner can be a particularly dangerous time. It's a time when we often see an escalation in the levels of physical violence that a victim is experiencing.
Because of the fact that LGBT people will likely have experienced discrimination at some point in their lives from a service, they are more likely to be concerned that domestic abuse support services will support them or believe them. This can be a particular issue when services don't explicitly advertise that they're LGBT inclusive.
If you work in a community group, it's really important that you ensure that there are leaflets and posters available for people to access, and please make sure that those are LGBT inclusive posters and leaflets. This sends out such an important message that someone can seek information, advice, and that there's somebody to talk to. Because we know that isolation is one of the key tactics that perpetrators of domestic abuse use, it's absolutely vital that we as community members are sending out that message that counters the isolation.
In addition to women's aids nationally, LGBT people who do not identify as women can access domestic abuse support from the Fearless service. The Fearless service is operational in 8 different areas across Scotland, and it is managed by a partnership of SACRO, Respect UK, Shakti Women's Aid, and LGBT Youth Scotland, and we provide direct one-to-one support for those who have experienced domestic abuse, anyone over 16.
Women's Aid has always worked to be LGBT inclusive. From the outset of the movement, LGBT women have been part of that movement. They form part of our staff team, part of the volunteers who work with us. Many women's aid groups throughout Scotland are also working very closely with LGBT Youth Scotland to achieve the Charter Mark, to truly prove that their services are accessible and open to all women.